Good evening, everybody. Looks like we actually get to start on time tonight because the runners have all their ducks in a row. So we're going to get some Consternation racing on this week. I'm Furious K, and I've got Kiros back there tracking with me. If you're not familiar with Consternation flags, it's a pretty straightforward flag set for the runners. It's Heart Shuffle on, it's Shapes Dungeons, it's Mixed Hints, a little bit of shuffle of the HP, but nothing too terrible for them. And we should be underway shortly. We'll get to see pretty quickly where they spawn and whether or not they can collect an Armos item pretty quickly, as that should be priority number 1 for most of the runners. Priority 2 will be getting the sword, and then we'll see if they try and dip into dungeons or if they continue looking for white sword item and or coast item knowledge. And we are off. Looks like they're not too far from vanilla start, so Deadwood side exploration or start exploration, as well as the Blue Ring Armos shop, which is directly north of them, is probably going to be the first order of business. And it looks like they will have access to an arrow shop and a free take any one right above them with a candle inside, so most of the runners are opting into that. The first Armos item location has the Any Roads. Looks like we get to travel up towards the grave. Back again towards start, so not so good on the third one. Fourth one is all the way up at Vanilla 5, so you don't really have access to the eastern part of the overworld with the Any Roads, but you have a little bit of movement there, so we may see some use out of these Any Roads. So we have JLO7, TA909, Truant Gamer, and Captain Green 7. If you want to give any of them directly a follow, all of their names on screen are going to be their Twitch handles. Darknut and Korea Overworld, so looks like Moblins and Lionels will both shuffle into the dungeons. That's both good and bad. Bomb shop at the open cave in the grave is not too terrible location. Will give you access to bombs close to Death Mountain, even at the cost that they're at. Unfortunately, to get those bombs, you have to dodge all the boomerangs, and easier said than done sometimes. Does look like our wood sword is vanilla. Completely unshuffled. Level 6 for TA909 looks to be close to start then. Deadwoods, perhaps, yes. One to the left of where they started. Step over the water to reach the heart container could mean the latter coast item is the heart container, or it could be something in a dungeon we won't know really until we see. Doesn't look like 6 is a very fun place to explore. May not be able to explore in there at all without some more resources, so we'll just check that off as something to come back to later on multiple screens at this point. And again, Consternation flag set means we have mixed hints, so some will be community, some will be helpful hints. The white sword is apparently close to start, so that's kind of interesting. Could be 4, 5, or 6 hearts to get that. The area that's considered close to start is the 2 candle spots right here that Captain Green is checking. The 2 open caves. 2 bomb spots, and the power bracelet push block. Level 5 is right next to the vanilla wood sword cave that had the wood sword. A little bit of a better option than level 6 to go ahead and explore. So not surprising to see JLo try and get into level 5 and get further along. Unfortunately, without resources again, no bombs, no keys. Looks like it's a quick exit. I suppose if the Armos item ends up being the power bracelet and the ladder heart is there, we really ought to go back and check the flags again just to make sure we're playing Consternation. I might if I were the runners. Decent enough money with the 109 large, so even with a 3 small, I would think you can buy just about anything you need this specific seed. Wouldn't be too surprised if the runners locate the cheap key if they decide to go ahead and buy one. I don't think that they'll buy the expensive over 100 one, but if you get one that's in the 80 to 90 range with this money, a lot of people will value that over the blue ring as we find level 7. So 5, 6, and 7 so far. Looks like that's up to the northeast of level 1. It looks like still mostly looking at the overworld as far as runners go.
Definitely some more calls of Fred right now. That wrapped in 3. And we have shown that we are actually not shuffled with a power bracelet in 3 as well.
Looks like I finally got my network issue resolved. Looks like TA909 found level 3 in the forest while I was away.
There was a wrapped on the floor and a power bracelet in the staircase.
Sweet. So both items, but perhaps no Triforce yet. And now level 2 for TA909, so a lot of levels being found early here. And a pretty quick Triforce inside of level 2. Not too surprising to see that taken. That's also its vanilla location. If Feat of Strength leads to the White Sword is a hint that was seen, that would mean that's in the Power Bracelet spot right next to Vanilla Start.
And recorder on the floor in 2.
Looks like we have some fairly nice HP on these red Wiz Robes. It's not really going to be anything that affects the runners too much. The blue Wiz Robes, on the other hand, if they roll up, will be a bit of a nuisance.
And I saw Captain Greedy 7 had not picked up the raft when he menued it at one point, but missed if he went back and found it yet before abandoning there. It was straight on the floor.
We know via a hint now that the sale not to save the princess is in play, so if he maybe saw that hint, decided against actually getting it. It's rare, but looks like Captain Green should find his Triforce here shortly as well. And looks like he'll opt to save the health refill for later, but he could have taken it all the same. It's just one room in at start. Guess it'll be interesting to see if Trune finds the power bracelet in 3, if he goes directly towards the power bracelet spot to get the white sword, because the combat bonus there, getting that fairly early on, is quite significant. Looks like T is going to clear this river room out, try and see whether or not we have item in here or not. Doesn't look like it. It's not a very nice room there when you have Beamos in the corner to aid in your kind of chip damage you take along the way, so Never a fun room. Looks like JLo's not interested in continuing it. And we have Patras all over the place as far as the dungeons go. Staircase in 6, will it be the transport? Yeah, with 2 sets of transports in this specific level 6. Not surprising to see that be the case. That little one-off room is causing the extra one to spawn. And with a lot of money to their name, JLo has decided that an arrow purchase is worthwhile. Kind of takes the blue ring out of the equation, but if you find the bow fairly early, that wood arrow purchase comes into play. And some of our more superstitious runners believe if you buy the wood arrows, it gives you access to silvers a little bit quicker as well. Based on our clearing of the starting area, I do believe that the power bracelet's required for that white sword item at this point, but could have always missed something. Sure, did clear out this 3-bar room, making sure that wasn't a staircase. It's gonna have to continue looking.
Oh, ladder.
Yep. It's a big find in level 2 right there for TA 909.
Yeah, TA was digging pretty hard after finding the Triforce and the flute early. Well paid off.
See if that advantage lasts for a significant amount of time or if it is found by the other runners. Level 2 tends
Pretty
to
big
be
level
something
2.
that... Yeah. Tends to be something that the runners want to clear, though. Unfortunately, the sprite overload there with all those boomerangs in the air meant TA had to wait for the boomerangs to come back in order to actually go grab that ghost heart. And staircase item 6, magic boomerang. I think I don't quite agree with the lack of picking that up, though. It's, Lionels will be in your dungeons, so it's a kind of nasty enemy to go ahead and fight, and White Sword confirmed behind the power bracelet.
Sometimes you just need to pick up an item from afar.
Well, we're continuing a vanilla theme here. Guria grumbles with red candle. Three of our forerunners now have the power bracelet. Just Druin has no power bracelet, but once he gets over to level 3, I think that'll be a pretty quick pickup. And looks like
+3 on the bombs.
Yep, looks like TA decided to invest in a bomb upgrade.
A little bit expensive, but Always worth.
Max for the bomb upgrades will be 125. I think it was a little bit short, but still expensive nevertheless.
It was a full 125.
Oh, it was. Nice. So they did get super expensive and a rip-off of one, but so the extra comfort of bombs, especially with the most recent patch right before SG Live, creating more segments in level 9, you definitely feel more comfortable with 11 than 8.
You never know when you might run into a mugger with bombs and keys without a magic key.
Yeah, we are looking pretty key-starved at the moment. Only one key on the board across 4 runners.
Slow on the Triforce pickups as well. Couldn't quite identify what was stopping them in 3.
Oh, it looked like there were some key doors in there. I suspect that may have been the biggest blocker. And seeing as TA has the flute out of level 2, and level 2 being only 2 screens away from level 3, I think in his specific case it makes most sense once you find both items to just bail and get other dungeons done. You can always flute back to 2. A long stare at that pack of bombs, but looks like Jayla's going to opt out of it for the moment. And with that, a kill might be a kill on 3, so that 6 count didn't produce a bomb there, but gives him a pretty good shot at knowing where his count's at.
And big secret under Recorder Lake there.
And 4 hearts, not enough for the white sword. Jayla's gonna have to go find somewhere to pick up a heart container. Looks like with 1 and 4 on the board, TA's not really interested in going into level 6, which I am almost certain he has information on. And level 7 and 5 as well you go into, but I think maybe he doesn't have 7. We have level 1 for Captain Green, though. That's a big fine. 3 items, usually pretty small.
Yeah, you got the last large secret. Or in Los Armos, I think.
Looks like the Northeast houses level 1 today. Staircase item says red ring, so defense is no longer an issue, and with white sword in hand, I think the right side of our featured restream is all set as far as our combat goes. J-Lo back into 5, I think. Could be farming this rupee boss right at the start. If you up an A out of the room, you can just keep going back into it. It'll respawn the same 10. You can get up to 250 and then blue ring. It'd be unfortunate when he finds out that the red ring is basically free in level 1 in open cave, but still in his mind he's got some combat issues with some of these Patras and Wizrobes and Hull's voice and such in these early dungeons and wants to be able to get through them. Level 4 also being in the northeast. So I think that only leaves perhaps 8 and 9 outstanding. A little bit of 3-key money here. This is level 1, so this 5-block room for Captain Green can drop a key or drop an item on the floor. That he'll pick up, but that's not really what he was after, and he'll be down to no keys remaining. Aquamas hit rolled into the Aquamas room and gets boomerang. Refund key in this room, so it looks like we have an item potentially either... Well, it looks like it's going to probably be in the south room. So another key use, will be down to 0 to find out that information. Blue ring now secured on J-Lo's side, so no more major need for farming. Can you add a key for TA to get through at least one of the key doors? We'll see if that pays off or not. And a heart container in level 1 is the last of the items, so we'll see Captain Green pick up his Triforce and exit. Trent with his power bracelet and 6 hearts is now going to make the white sword play. Looks like it was available on 5, given J-Lo has it. We have a HUD Tektite on TA's screen, so he had to leave the room. It's a bit unfortunate. I believe Captain Green will shortly be inside level 4 himself. It's like all the runners now are on even footing as far as White Sword goes. And looks like the item in level 4 was all the way at the very top, and it is a heart container. At 6 hearts, it looks like TA is content to just play it out without spending the extra seconds. Certainly, Magical Sword really isn't as necessary once you get the White Sword. On Wood Sword, he might have made a different decision, but I don't think that passing any hearts at this point is that disagreeable. J-Lo now probably a little bit annoyed with his farming he did. Takes it out, the keys coming out of the stairs. And I think on 8 hearts, when Captain Green goes up a screen here, he's going to make the same play. Just say, I don't want to waste my extra 8 seconds on this heart container. Yep. have found level 8, so it's just down to level 9 as far as dungeons outstanding for the featured 4. Not all of them have the same knowledge of those dungeons, but good to see that most of them are accessible to the runners already. It's a straight first quest overworld, so there's not a whole lot of extra spots. There's only 7 of them that are blocked. Captain Green's still looking around for the floor item.
Okay, passes on the boomerang.
And more
That's a
combat
wand.
upgrades. Yep. Level 8 has the wand and a staircase. Captain Green's probably going to have to take out this Booyah to see the floor item at this point. I think he's got the majority of the rooms. Nope. I lied. Just a key door potentially in his way now, so back to 0. Oh man. Silvers in level 4 on the floor, so that kind of changes the order between TA909 and CG7 as far as the featured 4. TA was a little bit ahead, not so much anymore. That being said, it looks like TA has all the items out of 1, 2, and 3, so should he choose to revisit dungeons, I think 4 will be first up, and with the flute, I actually think that probably won't cost him too much time. Just depends on how much of 9 you would explore otherwise. Still anybody's game, though. JLo and Turin can get back into this pretty quick, since those items are all in smaller dungeons. Lots of money available in this seed, so prescription paper being picked up. We have a level 9 sighting. It's all the way up in Death Mountain. I think that's pretty much on its own. I think maybe the closest thing to it might have been level 8, but it's still a ways away. Trying to think maybe an Any Road goes up there. I think I remember reading off an Any Road in that general area, or further north than the starting point. Back into level 8 as TA is exploring level 6 now.
Where was that bow? Because Truant has it.
That is interesting question. I would think level 8, probably. Did not see him pick it up. But I can certainly find that out pretty quick. It is the floor item in level 8, so can confirm. So there won't be any need to explore 9 for items just again in Zelda when that time comes. In fact, it really feels like the key to unlocking this seed might actually be to unlock the doors. We don't know if the book and any key are on level 9. Heart Shuffle is on. We have a handful of items outstanding as far as locations go, but the odds of at least one of those going to level 9 at this point is getting a little bit high.
But there are indeed a lot of hearts left over.
Yeah, I think that I don't think anyone's really looked at level 5 all that much, so there could be something in there. I only saw the magic boomerang, and I think Trent was key blocked out of the rest of the dungeon, so he just took his Triforce and ran at that point, so there's at least one item in 6. Pretty sure there's still one item in 7 and one item in 8. Trent does have quite a combat advantage at this point, though, with the wand in hand.
And the bow to get rid of the bunnies.
Yep. Fortunately, defense is another story, so he's got to be careful with all these BMOS rooms. He's only able to take so many shots, and we have Mr. Grumble. Grumble, you shall not pass in level 8. We don't know if that's required yet, but it could be.
You'll be able to get around that, go to north through the, but you need a ladder for that.
Yeah, we don't know for sure if you can get that way. Looks like the light is, in fact, not too far away from level 9, so if Trent decides to dig level 2 for the ladder, we'll most likely also find the recorder, as it seemed to be further or closer to the starting area of level 2 than the ladder was. I think the ladder was all the way up. The bait will be a bit of a problem for JLo, but the other 3 runners do have quite a bit of money at this point, so they'll just be going back to get the money for it. Looks like the red candle's ladder blocked. T is going to get some of these hints out of the way. Manhandle a hint that we already knew. There's the bow in that like room. And then the feat of strength hint that we saw a long time ago via Truant. So those hints aren't so good.
This is just late.
Looks like TA is likely to run into level 7 next, based on his path. Captain Green is looking at level 6. We know this really won't pay out too well unless it happens to have the any key. Although I suppose the book is still worthwhile enough, given that it is the Atlas. And shapes in Atlas and 9 can be pretty useful. Red candle is in fact in the staircase in 7 specifically, so that's a full-blown Fred there.
There were many of this seed.
Yeah. Any key in level 6, there we have it. So the rich is getting a little bit richer. Still requires him to find the bow in level 8 to really be in go mode, but not entirely sure if he's seen the magic boomerang.
Oh, there's the
So-
book 7.
Yep, book is in 7, so TA will have the map for level 9.
Oh no, he didn't pick it up. He just
Oh, just left it?
yes.
Ouch. Well.
So heart 9.
Yep. I think most runners will prefer it that way. One pickup for JLo out of level 8, so we have 2 runners on the same item setup at level 8, both just missing, I believe, the staircase heart. Don't be too deceived by the Triforce counts on the left side of the screen. It's all small dungeons, and Truant's gonna end up stumbling into at least a red ring here shortly to speed him up, and he could well be off to the races if he digs far enough to find the silvers and digs too far enough to get the ladder. TA's done with level 7 at this point. The other hit shop. Ladder hint. No use. Sale not, no use. Guessing the third hint was picked up a while ago by, or just ignoring it, giving up with it. Kind of crazy how many actual hints there were in the hint shops, given its mixed hints. Yeah, region's just a choice. You get a couple options that you can specifically choose, or you can randomize what it shows as the dungeons. Level is the vanilla way for it to lay out, and region is just one of the random ones you can get. Looks like TA clears this room, he'll be the next one to the bow. Just will put him silvers away from being able to complete the game. He found the bow.
He has already been to 4 with the Triforce, so
Grumble, grumble.
TA
It looks like from the map you can get around that, no problem. Pretty sure the staircase takes you above it as well. No? Maybe? From JLo's side, I don't think it does, but in any event, there's a couple different ways you can get around it, it looks like. Yep. So it's no bait required, and actually no ladder required yet either.
I would guess the TA will probably end up in 9 before he goes back to 4.
It's certainly possible. May just depend on how much of 4 he had left. Sure, finds the staircase item. Founds. But I'm not sure if that's going to impact his decision to look for the silvers in here or not. Has 2 keys to his name, so we do know that they are required to get over to the side with the silvers. I do believe they're kind of in the middle on that 4th row, further over on the right. Looks like he's going to take the Triforce. Whether or not Trent goes back in or not will determine kind of how it goes for him in the short term. And out goes Trent, so leaving the silvers behind. We'll have to come back later and pick those up.
I confirmed that JLo indeed just has the number 2 Triforce. He spent a good deal in 8.
This scene's definitely showing the importance, really, of actually purchasing some keys. Keys have impacted several decisions thus far, and now it looks like T is going to actually pick up this heart container, which is a little bit interesting given he's passed on some other ones. This one must be his favorite.
Eight for 8.
Looks like Captain Green is direct routing back to the Triforce here, so that staircase heart must have been the second one found in here. Guess they're both hearts. So that's one less dungeon that he has. Red Wizrobes, even with your red ring, do hurt if you take a blast, so T, I guess, saw that one coming and went ahead and just took the direct damage from impacting them.
Oh, there's a reason to pick up an extra heart. Yeah, from Mugger.
Yeah, not quite rich enough to go the other route with that resource, just have to pay off with the heart. Where is this Triforce in level 8?
It was in the northeast, I think, per compass. So
It looks like maybe just, yeah, it looks like it just missed the room that the Triforce was in up there. Truant, meanwhile, is escaping level 1. Know that he's at least seen the red ring, and I guess has seen all 3, given on how quickly he bailed out of there.
Yeah, he saw the boomerang.
Still difficult call with Captain Green having the any key out of level 6. Will that allow him to move fast enough and without concerns on using keys, or will it lead to him seeing extra rooms that aren't necessary for the run by being able to open the doors that others cannot?
I had that key marked before.
He also has that compass now, so it's going back up to try and get to that room.
It was in the northeast, just left of where he had been.
Presumably a key block or a bomb block from it. It's sitting free on the floor at least. It's now just 2 pieces away from being able to enter level 9. Dodongo's trolling here just a little bit for Captain Green, but going to get the compass, so looks like he's on the escape out of level 7. Well, it looked like he was thinking about it. Looks like JLo is resorting to farming rupees again. Yeah. Captain Green has a few advantages over TA. He has the bigger dungeons to explore and still has to actually make sure he clears the room with a bow. But a atlas for CG7 means the map is going to be available to him, and the any key, of course, in hand means any key blocks that may present themselves. He won't have to worry about, whereas TA only has 3 keys currently. Oh, JLo was farming for the bait, thought it was potentially required. Captain Green does have the silvers. There's always a chance that TA can get turned around by a hint with the silvers being elsewhere, so I guess it's going to be reliant on how quickly the items are found in level 9, should he not go back to 4 first. He has both items at level 3, so this dig is over. Just going to go back to start and try and head towards level 5 now. And actually, it looks like TA has been in the room with the Triforce already, just didn't have, I guess, the ability to beat it. I think it was all bunnies and it was just wood sword combat initially.
And I think I was wrong. I think they did. I think TA did get the book. Yes. Burn with fire.
Yep. So one less advantage for Captain Green, but still not having to go back and find silvers or having to dig 9 for silvers. Both Captain Green and TA909 dug level 3 for both items and left really early on because it had a lot of key blocks, and we've been hovering around 0, 1, or 2 keys on most of the runner screens for the majority of this race, with the exception now being Captain Green 7 has the any key. Given the any key's location, it's very likely that TA will never see it as well.
Unless he digs out there to try to find the silvers.
Yeah. It would be pretty wild if he went there before 4, though.
6 was a pretty in and out dungeon.
Alright, we're going to see what the decision is now. Captain Green has not seen level 8 yet. Has not been that far up into Death Mountain.
It looks like TA is going to dig out 5 first. Here.
Meanwhile, Captain Green has found level 8. These are just 4 of, I believe, a good 14 or so runners involved in this race.
Sure, just pass on the Triforce. Either I mismarked his items in 3, or I'm not sure what he's digging.
Could just be looking for more keys as well. There's only a handful of rooms left. And he gets nothing, he loses on that, so... Looks like Triforce and run time for Truant. Or he's just confused himself a little bit as to what he picked up out of here. Unfortunately, it does look like Captain Green has passed up the room in question that has the item he will need. He thought about going down there. It's in a room that looks very much like the one he's in now, but it has 6 instead of just the 3. At least I think that was the case. Now T's in a bit of a precarious position. He's down to his last key again. And I think it is required to use it to go find the rest of the items out of this level 5. And maybe keep locked out of this section as well.
Oh,
But there's
found
another
it.
heart. Yep.
But he did use that key.
So T's in a really, really awkward spot. You hate going to level 9 without a single key to your name. I think he also requires a key to get the silvers, so it looks like 9's going to be the play. He, of course, doesn't know that it is required, and he doesn't know specifically where level 9 is yet, but I'm pretty sure he's got most of his map marked. JLo, meanwhile, finds the ladder at level 2. We've also found the flute out of level 2, so that's the end of that dig. Level 9 we go for TA909.
No keys, no silvers.
That was a roar, but it wasn't the roar that we're looking for specifically, as Gleox will make the same noise. Already down to 4 bombs left. It is a Wizrobe set.
And Trent rounds out the field with a bomb upgrade.
Looks like TA doesn't want to have to up A real early in this. It's going to also try and get to that key, and that was almost certainly going to require a little bit of damage to be taken. It's a bonus bomb pack out of it as well. See if this room really can't have anything as far as staircases, given the bomb pack was floating around. That is only a feature if you turn open staircases mostly off, which is part of the advanced tab. They are not playing that with Consternation. Pretty quickly catching up in Triforces. We do have a roar as well. Looks like Ganon is most likely to the south here.
Permanent Trent does have the recorder. Not sure if he has a ladder or not.
Important thing to note here is I do believe Captain Green has seen every item except for the wand and the bow. So with that in mind, important items 9 is not checked for Consternation flags, so it's really just going to be a finishing off of level 8 to find the bow. This should be the last dungeon pre-9 that Captain Green has to go into. Actually, I lied. He has to go into 3 for his Triforce, but that's the last item he'll have to look for. Heart container found by TA, that's 1 of 2. So as far as the restream portion of this race goes, probably 1 step away from heading out of this dungeon. 1 hint has been eaten by the old man Mugger, so that's reducing the chances that he's going to see the Silver's hint. The pig is to his left in this room. Already has the access point, though. Spiral stair with Geese. And be a little bit careful. That's Triforce piece number 7. Just has to go back to level 8. It looks like CG7's so deep in level 8 here that he's got to chug his potion as well. Just cannot afford to have to go all the way back to start. In his mind, he wants to clear all these rooms. And I think the TA's going to have to consider the same thing. He was heading to the menu there just in case there was something that was going to throw beams or swords at him right off the bat. Gives you a chance to adjust and grab the potion real quick.
And CG7 has enough money to acquire another potion once he gets out of here.
Yep. JLo's going to find the heart container that's in level 1. Pretty sure that he's seen all 3 items now, with the red ring and the boomerang being in the room that he's just walking out of now, I think. I think we're just going to go ahead and pay the Mugger off. Still going to leave him over 100 rupees, which is more than enough for a potion. Halfway done on the Triforce count for JLo. Has a key left to his name going into 4. That's important. Gonna need the keys to navigate anywhere in there, and more importantly, he needs a key, at least 1 to go to where he needs to be to find the silvers. And Captain Greed is now going into the room with the bow, so this should end his search for items. He's going to get eaten by every like pretty much, but that's okay with him. That's a bow. He's going to burn it first. He's been in the room with the Triforce. I don't know if he ever grabbed it or not.
He passed by it.
Truant now has all 8 Triforce pieces, and he'll be left with the same decision as TA909 had. Do you go to 9? I think because of his proximity, that's probably the answer. It's unfortunately the incorrect one this time. Captain Green is going to grab the Triforce out of this room right here. Just needs to record her back to level 2, I guess, to go into level 3, grab that Triforce piece, then flute back to 8 to get into level 9. I've only been paying a little bit of attention. Haven't seen Zelda shut her door personally, but that doesn't mean that TA909 has missed out on that. Our container right away for Truant. Just gonna stick around at level 9 for now.
Turned up to 11 hearts, but probably will not be going back to that waterfall.
Last key for TAA again. It may get him to the staircase he needs for the second items at some point here, but not going to help him when he has to go get the other item. There's the heart, so he knows now that this is a bust. Going back to level 6 first, it appears. That's probably the most interesting play so far. Was pretty convinced he was going back to 4, but I guess his key count situation looms large here. Captain Green should be stumbling upon the Triforce here in the next room or so. There we have it. So, Captain Green's going to be the first runner into 9 with silvers. So he has the chance to take away this race on the restream. Maybe overall. Any key for TA, that's actually going to pay off a little bit. Because I think he's just got level 4 left, and now he has all the keys he needs. And has Zelda's location. Not Zelda's, excuse me, Ganon's. Getting ahead of myself there. So, slight advantage, I would say, still for TA, given that the Iniki was found pretty quick at level 6. But he's going to have to hurry back to level 9. JLo's looking around, and level 7 only has 2 rooms explored, so this is a full dungeon for him to check out and see if he can't find the silvers and the Triforces he needs to get to level 9. Looks like we already have silvers now for TA, so he's going back. Free map that nobody wants anymore. Yeah, advantage is back in TA's court just based on how fast he found the magic key, and the magic key really opened up his ability to get back into level 4 and get that silvers right away, and now won't have any way of altering his route at level 9 anymore. He can just go straight through any key door. It doesn't have to bypass them using bombs or any other means. So it goes down just to kill this room coming up soon, I think, and then he can go down again through the shutter door into Gen's room. Barring it being some sort of double moat room or Chevy, this shouldn't be too difficult to fight for him with Red Ring. NSU actually is plausible for problems, and we don't know yet if the shutter door below is Zelda or if Zelda's somewhere else. Has a stun lock though, so that'll make things a little bit easier. And we'll know pretty much in the next second or two whether or not Zelda's right away or not. No. We're going to see shortly whether or not you can actually bomb into Gan's room, I think, because... well, no, he's one too high. Thought for a second Captain Green would be able to get in there via a bomb, but... Let's see if he can't bomb down here. He has not heard the roar, he's just one row too high. Looks like if we cheat and use truant screen here, we can see where Zelda actually is from the seed. It's going to be up at the very top. In the L column, second from the top, actually. I don't know that TA's actually seen that actual shutter door yet. I think he actually came in one room below Zelda's room. And Captain Green just heard the roar, so he may try and bomb directly, and we'll get our answer this time. Looks like the answer is no. Keep an eye on the other runners here. Looks like JLo now has his 6th Triforce piece out of level 7, so just the Triforce pieces in 5 and 8 left. Captain Green's looking for a staircase. No dice in that one, though. You've got a heart container. Looks like TA is going the right direction this time. Will he be able to get over to where the shutter door is? No dice in that room. Staircase takes you a mile away as well. I suspect Captain Green's going to have his Ganon route secured here shortly, though. Truant has 0 keys, 0 bombs, but has both items at level 9. Out he goes. If he... Yeah, I guess he could flute away. Here we go. Second person now. Take on Ganon. Captain Green's got the stun lock, maybe? No, not quite, but already halfway dead, so not too big a deal.
So is the route to go find Zelda maybe straight up from here?
Nope. Unfortunately, the room directly below Zelda is the right-hand staircase room, and that right-hand staircase room has no door northbound. You have to bomb out through the south. I think Jay might be on the general path now, though. I don't know that he's... Well, I think actually the room above this is just the trap room, so never mind. We'll have to wait and see. It's not. If you can bomb left, there may be a route this direction. Can. So I think this is the route now. This gets you over there.
So it definitely looks like an offer for hints in 9.
Yep. But won't need any hints or this compass he's about to pick up, because he just gets to go south. And one room to the left here. Get your GGs out for TA 909. Looks like he's going to finish first on restream, but second overall with a time of 1:19:54. He was beaten by just about 3 minutes. Just Jerk took it home with a 1:16:56, but he did just snipe Scytown out of third place. Scytown finished about a minute or so after. Specifically a 1:20:50 for Scytown. It's pretty late on the East Coast, so I don't know if TA is going to be able to join us or not. We'll find out here shortly. Looks like, unfortunately, Captain Green's going to have to farm some bombs. Does look like it's a bit of a magical bomb hole scenario to actually get up there. Truant has enough money now for a key, which is important. And fourth place, off restream here, Dr. J, PhD, 1:22:11. We're starting to see some runners trickle in now.
12 hours,
3
no
remaining.
good for Mags.
Yep, it's rolled up again. Seems to be something fairly normal on the restreamed weeklies. I think Captain Green has now seen both of the horror containers level 9 while trying to find the staircase to try and get his way to wherever Zelda is. And unfortunately, the compass is basically right there, so you have no way of finding her without basically finding the bomb wall or whatever the route may be.
Almost the kidnap guards compass scenario.
And it looks like Captain Green has found the route. I think he's getting blocked out here by this raid boss of a Dig Dogger, and now gets his come and says, "Oh, thanks. That's really helpful at this point." But looks like he's going to finish in 5th, and it's an official SRL time of 1:24:03, and that's good enough to snipe Eat My Steel, who finishes 6th 12 seconds later, 1:24:15. And looks like we're joined by Captain Green 7. GG's.
Thank you.
GG.
It's a rather interesting race in the sense that you were absolutely first to silvers. But unfortunately did not go to Death Mountain as early as some of the other runners who all had the bow well ahead of you, I believe. So it's kind of good news, bad news scenario there. And then level 9, of course, all of you were getting trolled pretty significantly by the Route 2 Zelda being that bomb wall up there.
Yeah, I knew 9 was gonna suck when no one was done by the time I entered, because I knew I was not... item placement was not good for me, and full clearing 8 was not good, full clearing 2 was not good. So I was prepared for a very crappy 9.
Yeah.
It was just one of those ones where, like, I just seemed to be making the wrong turn in every shapes level, which is just frustrating after a while. It's like, okay, whatever.
It seemed like everybody was having major key issues for a long time, and you spending the key in level 4 gave you that initial burst to actually get going. And then finding the any key helped you a little bit as well, but may also have hurt you a little bit in level 8. A lot of runners had to route kind of around level 8's key doors, and they found their way into the bow early on in that dungeon, I believe. All of them were in that room early.
Yep, it was just 2 rooms from start, I think, and I took a little 20-room detour.
But then TA, for example, had to find silver still, so he went and explored the entirety of level 8. I think Truant explored all but 3 or 4 rooms of level 8. And JLo was quite busy in level 8 as well. He actually had to go buy bait because he thought it was bait blocks, so 8 got a lot of people pretty good.
Yeah, it was huge in the mess.
Let's see here. We got JLo still going through level 9, found the instant heart container, but hasn't found the second item. And Trua is in level 6, has the any key in hand now, it appears, so that will allow him back into level 4 once he finds the floor, or the staircase item, excuse me. I think he's already seen it. Yes, in fact, he basically spurned the magic boomerang earlier, so he's just forgotten. Let's see. Magic Friends and Bogey have finished since I last read down the list. 125.51, 128.20 respectively. I'm trying to think of what else was kind of trolly to see. I really think it was just key doors and level 9 being the worst of it.
Yeah, the compass right in front of Zelda was a nice joke at the end, for sure.
Yep. It looked like most of the hints in level 9 were eaten by either community or mugger room, so you basically had to find that bomb hole or you were going to be searching.
Yeah, based on what my map was looking like, I was pretty sure I'd leave and get bombs just to speed things up again.
Yep, Ryan 7 done in 9th place with a 128.58, and our resident Silvers 9 Detector Shaddy in 10th with a 129.07. For those not familiar with the joke, he usually goes to 9 really early and either finds silvers and wins or has one of these. Yep, the story of the seed basically was, just you having to find Bo, TA having to find silvers, and Truant and JLo being just a little bit behind you too, so it was interesting to see. TA have to leave 9 about the time that you entered 9. He had to go back and found the any key and silvers thereafter in 4. But it was a really interesting race once that happened because you got to Gan within a reasonable amount of time, and it was a double Zelda hunt where I think he had 5 or 6 rooms left in his entire level 9. That could have been Zelda's location.
Yeah, sounds about right. That's what I was thinking. 'Cause I feel like I actually got off to a pretty good start, and then I just found like nothing between like all the good items early in the bow.
It'd be interesting to hear Chest Jerk's routing since he was the one that got through it the quickest this time. I suspect he
Yeah.
didn't do a whole lot less than you and TA did, or any of the runners for that matter. Just perhaps got a little bit more of a right order to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you
I
ever-
think this is one of those seeds where it was going to be a challenge no matter how you tried to order it, for sure.
Did you ever consider spending a lot of money on keys, or did you just, by the time you had that decision to make, did you run into the any key, or?
Pretty much. I mean, keys actually weren't that terrible for me. That was the one boon, I think, of me going the wrong way in 2, is that I was at least able to lead with a key, which I think is what probably sped it up a little bit early on. But yeah, I felt I had like max money for like half the seed and just never had a reason to buy anything.
You get the Consternation this week and into real shenanigans next week. We'll, for those watching, you'll get the April Fool's joke that's going to be basically on the runners. It's going to be all sorts of mirrored shenanigans and flags that get a little bit less use. And Truant is probably going to pick up this Harketeer. He tried for mags at 12 and no diced it. So, given he's got to go level 4, maybe he makes the quick hike over to the waterfall.
That makes me feel a little bit better, because I was regretting not picking up heart containers after a while there. It's like, oh, I probably could have had Magical Sword, but maybe not.
Yeah. Oh, there's an any road there. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that any road, so that definitely makes it a reasonable play now that you can confirm that you get it. We'll never know if it was 13 or 14 unless a runner that's already finished and had picked it up or tried at 13 lets us know. Any final thoughts on the seed? I know it's getting a little bit late for you.
I don't think so. I think that pretty much covered it. Just thank you. And thanks, Kairos, as well.
Yeah, he got to do the heavy lifting when I lost internet for a good 2 or 3 minutes there, so tracker and commentator extraordinaire.
That's fun.
Always fun.
Especially with 4 runners.
Yep, always popping in and around here.
Alright, well, thank you very much. I'll let you get back to calling the last 2 finishers. And, have a good rest of the evening.
GG again?
Yep, GG's and take care. Looks like Truant Gamer's probably going to be the first of the 2.
Being in for, and a little magic sword to boost.
Yeah, the real struggle here for JLo is, again, the key count, because I think the route to get to the second heart container staircase is key blocked. It's the one he has not seen is in the 4th row, or 4th column, excuse me, on the very bottom row. Looks like Truant's going to use the little cheese strat here with the up A at the fairy fountain. It'll recharge all the way, and he's just going to use that recharge while he flutes up to level 9. 14 hearts, red ring, magical sword. I don't think it's going to be too difficult for him to take out again in the seed, and he already knows where the route to Zelda is, so that's a freebie. King Doll finished in 11th place in the meantime with a 130.25, so got a couple of runners left going.
What was the total runner count tonight?
14. Got the 2 runners you see on stream here, and we also have Macing Toaster braving out this level 9 where you don't have any easy way to know how to get to Zelda without just bombing there. like JLo's found his way into Gan's room, but you can't bomb out. So it's pretty much an auto up A for him. I think Trin's gonna try every way possible to get bombed over into the left side here. I don't think it's possible. I think it was a no-go. If I remember, Captain Green did have a chance. Oh, no, there's a key door there. You go up in this room. JLo's back in the right dungeon. You cannot go up in the very bottom room, so you basically have a staircase blocked pig. Maybe it was this room that had the other heart container down here. Second guessing myself a little bit there. It's like Amazing Toaster has wrapped it up in 12th place with a 136.27. Probably bemoaning the level 9. So I guess the $1,000,000 question here is, did JLo miss a key drop in this level? I don't think so. And it looks like JLo has decided, well, maybe he hasn't. Yeah, I think he is opting out of this one at this point. Looks like he's hit the .ff in the IRC. Don't necessarily blame him. He knows where the likelihood these silvers are. It's either going to be in level 4 or level 6, the other one being the any key that he wishes he could get right about now. But, looks like we have the pig down. Truant Gamer's taken him down and has presumably the route to Zelda figured out. Just a matter of up A and taking the route he knows. See if we can't get JLo in real quick. Depending on where he lives, if it's out on the East Coast, it's almost midnight, so wouldn't blame him for opting out.
Is that an official forfeit for JLo yet?
Yes. We'll have an official SRL time for Truant here shortly, as he's just got to survive some whiz robes and a dig dogger between here and Zelda. That and the fire. I don't think he'll take that much damage though. And that ends it for Truant, 139.29. So the entire field basically finishes up here within about a 30-minute time span, which tells you that about everybody had to full clear it. Give them a minute or two and see if either one of them decides to hop in here. Looks like the first victim is Truant. How fun
Hey.
was that one?
It was fine until I realized I mismarked my map.
I see.
At some point, I clicked on Vanilla 2 as nothing and ended up being the last place I looked, and it was kind of important.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
No. Just one of those things that happens. But yeah, you had the same issue as everybody not named Captain Green 7 had as far as keys go in the seed. Basically had no keys until you found the any key. I think the highest key count I saw on anybody's screen before that was 3. And that person was TA that went back down to 0 pretty much instantly.
I think I touched 5 at one point, but it came and went. Yeah, everything was a door, and of course, silvers were behind a door, and it was 27 door Mani in level 4.
Yep. JLO 7 standing basically on the other side of the key door from the silvers, can't get in.
Well, just keep knocking.
Yeah. It's unfortunate you couldn't kinetic key that door either. It was basically SOL if you didn't have a single key. I don't know that I saw much of the lower price key, but yeah, I don't know. That level 9 was pretty interesting as well. You seemed to find your way to Zelda. Actually, you were the first one to find Zelda at all. She was pretty well tucked away up there, so the compass being up there, no hints, that sort of shenanigans. Always fun.
Yeah, that last bit after I killed Ganon, I was looking at my map and my tracker, trying to compare the two, just to see if there was something I missed that might have been a little quicker, and then I realized, nope, it's just a long walk.
JLo now getting the bad news in chat that he had missed the silvers by just a key door. But what are you going to do? You're at 0. That's the story of the seed for everybody. I think Captain Green's the only one that had a handful of keys, and I think he really only had 2 keys in level 4 and just made the decision that he wanted to go that way. Everybody else, I think, you found the any key in 6, and TA found the any key in 6 before going back to level 4 to get through the door. Yep, one of those seeds where I guess we just kind of wash it out of the memory bank and look forward to washing the next seed out of the memory bank when we play April Fool's Day flags and get all the shenanigans going again. That will be next Sunday, same time. We'll see which one of the Speed Gaming family networks that one's going to be on. Final thoughts on this one, Truant?
Time to go to bed.
I tend to agree with you there. It's even being in Central Time, it's definitely time to go ahead and relax and wait to see what we get rolled into next week. But thanks to all of our featured runners, JLo, TA, Truant, and Captain Green. Thank you to my tracker, Tyros, or Kairos, picking up the slack for me when I disconnected from the room here and had to find a way to get my internet to work again, just kicking the router. And to all the staff who helped set us up as always, thank you all for watching as well. We'll be back next week and see you then.